It's Monday again. These weeks are flying by. And I am going to maybe burst some bubbles here with what I'm about to say. But if you don't know by now, there is no silver bullet, no quick fix, and you just need to do the work. And if you haven't heard me say it a million times already, moderation and balance is key. That is what our body tries to do all the time. And this is why I get really annoyed, not necessarily annoyed, but it bugs me when, one little thing is mentioned and influencers are doing things and it really leads you to believe that I'm going to jump on this, I'm going to do this, and everything's going to be better. Well, without context for what they're talking about and a little bit more of a deep dive, it's always about a little knowledge is dangerous, right? And I will tell you, I spent years trying to find the quick fix, trying to find the one thing that I was missing, the one thing that would make everything better, and it doesn't exist. I can tell you it doesn't exist. Small, consistent changes are what makes the difference. So today I am going to get on a little something that I've been seeing a lot of the last few days in social media, and that is deuterium-depleted water, or DTW, okay? So deuterium is a hydrogen molecule, but it's a heavy hydrogen molecule. And so if you've heard this, there's all kinds of different kinds on the market. One is called light water, or DTW, again, deuterium depleted water. Biohackers, I think biohackers really kind of think they're very, very cutting edge. And while there's some science behind this biohacking, and there are some hacks that are fantastic and that you can implement, but again, this is not something that you can just drink this DTW water forever and be good, because overcorrection happens with everything. Supplements, food, minerals. This is why I don't like any kind of extreme anything. I don't like extreme eating. Extreme eating might be appropriate in extreme circumstances for a specific period of time, right? Things need to be used with purpose and intent. So if you've heard about light water or DDW water, I'm going to break it down a little bit more. So deuterium, I think I'm saying that right, deuterium, DEUTERIUM. So it's a naturally occurring form of hydrogen, but it's heavier because it has a neutron. Remember, hydrogen is very light. So it's in all water. Deuterium is in water. The normal levels are 150 ppm, right, parts per million. In small amounts, it's not harmful, but too much deuterium inside the cells, especially in your mitochondria, can slow down your production, your energy production, because remember, mitochondria are our little energy cells in every cell in our body. That's the source of energy, or that's what creates our energy. And it can slow down. High amounts of deuterium can slow down energy production and metabolic function. So in small amounts, it's not harmful. So keep that in mind. So deuterium depleted water, or DDW, is a water processed to reduce these deuterium levels. So you can't make it yourself. Of course, you have to buy it. So the ranges are from 125 to 10. So, quite a range there in them selling this water. Remember, normal levels are 150. So you can buy the water in ranges from 125 to 10. The goal, obviously, is to help your cells burn cleaner, repair better, repair faster, which is really good, and to perform more efficiently. So think of this like high octane gas. And you would think with all the car analogies I've been doing lately, I know a lot about cars, but not really, just the basics, right? So think of it like the high octane gas that you put in your car has less additives or less fillers and things like that in it, right? So it burns cleaner. So decreasing this deuterium in our mitochondria of our cells helps us become more efficient and burn cleaner energy. That makes sense. So now it's often used in therapeutic centers. Think cancer support, neurodegenerative conditions, metabolic dysfunction. It is used in cancer. I've heard of that a lot. Now, in everyday life, this is the caveat. So it's basically, it's not to be used every day. It's a tool. So it's not the quick tonic that you're going to, miraculously, everything's going to get better when you start using this every day. That is not the truth, because if you stay on this for too long, because if you go too low in your deuterium and continue on this DDW water for too long, it will disrupt your hormones. It can impair cell or stem cell activity. It can overstimulate your mitochondria. So we can't always have too much of a good thing. And it can also lead to electrolyte imbalance and can cause mood variabilities, right? Depression, anxiety, any of that. So many people do not need the ultra low DDW. They need foundational support. We all need foundational support first. If your nutrition, minerals, and stress responses aren't dialed in, you're basically just putting premium fuel in that car that has no tires. Okay, so it doesn't really matter because it's still not going to run. So if you want to look into the light water or the DDW water, you want to use it with some common sense, okay? Start with 85 to 105 ppm. So that's how we just want to optimize. Always pair it with minerals, hydration strategies, and redox support like H2, the hydrogen tablets, if you've been seeing a lot about that. I have a line that's third-party tested, and we always want third-party testing. So if you're looking for the redox support using hydrogen tablets, I've got a source for you. Also, always test, don't guess. Remember, I am huge on testing. So don't skip the lab testing. It's always next level. You can't replace what you don't know you need, right? And places like Any Lab Test Now, which if you're local, you've seen, I'm sharing it. It's opening in Youngstown. The grand opening is tomorrow. So places like this are fantastic because you can literally walk in there and say, I want this test. You don't need a doctor's order or anything. And I am offering the same. I offer a couple lab panels in my educational program through Lisamarie NP. And you also get the lab tests plus education. I go through video trainings to teach you what you want your numbers to be and why you want them to be like that. So please do not start supplementing anything without knowing if it's right for you or if you need it. And always use everything in moderation. You can always get too much of a good thing. So kind of just remember that this deuterium, it's part of your biology. It's not a toxin. Like some of the posts I've been seeing really make you think that it's a toxin and you need to totally get rid of this. It's not. It's not a toxin. It is a regulator. The goal is not zero. The goal is always balance. Everything is about balance. So if you want to try something like this, I recommend get tested, know your number, know how the amount of the DDW that you're getting. And less isn't always more. It's all about balance. If you have any questions, DM me. I know this was something kind of new, and I'm always loving when I start seeing things all over social media. I'm like, where are we getting this? And where did this come up? Where did this come up from? So always, always do a deep dive. If you see anything like this and you want to know about it, please message me. I would love to do a deep dive for you and give you the whole, a little bit more than just the tiny bit they're telling you about. Have a great day. I will see you on Wednesday.